What is up, New Beginnings Church? Happy Monday morning to you, and welcome to this devotional series called Lessons from Peter. Let's dive in. We're in 1 Peter chapter 5, and this is going to be a wrap on chapter 5. So this will be it, and then tomorrow we'll jump into the book of 2 Peter, and I'll tell you more about that tomorrow. But 1 Peter chapter 5, some famous verses starting in verse 8. The New King James, I like it a little bit better, so I chose it. It says, "Be sober, be vigilant. Because your adversary, the devil, walks about like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. Resist him, steadfast in the faith." So let me pause there. Interesting scripture. I like it. It's got some great words, great imagery going on here. The idea of be sober, when he starts there, he's not referring to like alcohol. He's not saying don't drink alcohol. Although that would kind of be baked into it, because what he's saying is this. The word sober here means the idea of like, hey, stay calm and stay collected. Stay calm and stay collected. Remember, 1 Peter was written to a bunch of Christians who were under heavy persecution, both politically, religiously, culturally, you name it. And so I think sometimes when you feel the heat and you feel the pressure, fear mounts and you have every reason to be frantic. He's like, no. The storm may be coming. I want you to stay cool and calm under the pressure. The second word he goes, not just be sober, but be vigilant. The literal language means don't let your guard down. Right? Like if you've ever been sparring or martial arts or boxing or anything, just having fun with your friends or whatever it is, you're like, no, keep your guard up at all times. And of course, the metaphor that he's about to use is the metaphor of a lion. And if you don't know this, a lion sleeps over 20 hours of the day, right? That's a lot of sleeping. And so, the reality is the enemy's not probably constantly bombarding you or tempting you or coming against you. But when it comes, you better be ready. Don't let your guard down. And then he starts speaking to the nature of our spiritual enemy. He goes, your adversary, the devil. The word adversary literally means legal opponent, somebody who's just against you. And the word devil is the word that has the idea of the accusing voice, the slanderous voice. And I find that to be so true that when we really go back and think about, let's say, Genesis chapter 3, you have Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. And when the serpent tempts them, all he does is speak using his voice. He doesn't actually physically do anything. He just asks a question, plants a seed, a thought, an idea. And then, of course, that's how it is for you and I, isn't it? We'll have a thought just flash through our mind. Now, a really immature person will think that was my thought. Okay, what you have to remember is this, is that you are not your thoughts. You're just the observer of your thoughts, right? And that we know that because sometimes you think like this and then you grow, mature, whatever it is, get new information, and then boom, you change your mind, right? So you are the one that's changing. Your thoughts are something that you're just viewing. And sometimes God speaks to you. You have to think about those thoughts, right? Sometimes you're just talking to yourself. And sometimes your own self-talk can be real critical or it can be real positive, depending on how you talk to yourself. And then every once in a while, again, you have this voice of accusation, this slandering voice. It's usually a voice of evil or negativity or doubt, or especially even fear. And that's the accusing voice, right? And think about it. He says, your adversary, the devil, that accusing voice, it walks about like a roaring lion seeking whom he may devour. A lion uses his voice. If you don't know this, they've observed lions in the wild. And what they'll do is the male lions will get on one side of a field and they know that their prey is over here. And what they'll do is they'll put maybe the females on the other side. And then just when they feel like everything is just right in the middle of the night, when they're ready to attack, the lion will just let out this big, massive roar. And again, if you've ever heard this up close, it's powerful. It's unbelievably fear-inducing. And then, of course, that roar goes out. And then, of course, all these animals that would be prey, they're freaking out. And what do? They run right towards their enemy. I find it so fascinating that sometimes that's how temptation works, is that just a voice gets kind of like a thought, an idea through a voice gets planted in our head, and then poof, we run off in doubt, fear, offense, negativity, again, whatever it is, and we go down the rabbit hole and we fall into all kinds of temptations. And so what we want to do is, no, I want to be sober. I want to be calm and collected. I'm not going to be moved by fear. I want to keep my guard up at all times. I love what the Apostle Paul said. He goes, you take every thought and you take it captive and you make it obedient to Jesus. That's how you, in essence, capture your thoughts, manage your thought life, and again, even harness the voice of God in your life. And so let us be sober today. Let us be vigilant. Church, I love you so much. God bless you, and I will see you tomorrow.